the most charming co-host I've ever been around. No, you're charming. Gosh, don't be silly. I think it's you and me from now on. Forget Clint. You're too good at this. I would love that. Just me and you. Have you always been this handsome? Yeah. You? Yeah, I think I've always looked this good too.
Two Scotties. Kill me.
Everybody, you are kicking it with the Homeboys. My name is Clint Wetherell, and today we are talking about the Metaverse. What the heck is it? What are people doing in the Metaverse? Where's it going to go? I don't know. As always, I'm here with my buddy and my homeboy, Mr. Scott Adams. What's up?
I thought you knew all the answers to the Metaverse.
Man, I'm an old fuddy-duddy. You know, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I'm excited to talk about it.
I am too.
But
Well, tell us what this blanket's doing up here.
I wanted to give a little plug. My 5-year-old daughter, she came home to my wife, Tish, and said, I want to do something for the homeless. And it's been amazing. So my wife and daughter, they set up this account on Amazon for blankets for the homeless and, you know, sent it out on social media. And as of today, my daughter, my 5-year-old, has collected 176 blankets for the homeless. So I'm just getting back from going downtown Indianapolis to the Wheeler Mission, where we delivered all these blankets, and I'm telling you, it was exceptionally powerful stuff. I'm trying not to get emotional talking about it, but to see what a difference a 5-year-old girl could do, and it also opened my eyes that I'm not doing enough. She's prayed over every single one of these blankets. She's put Proverbs 3 through 8 on each of these, and it's just really powerful stuff. And I know today we're talking about something that confuses the dickens out of us on our show, but I mean, this is something that's right in front of our face all the time.
That's right.
And so many people don't do anything about it, and so I'm just giving a little bit of a plug.
Yeah. So where can, if people want to add one of these blankets and get it to the right people, how do they do that?
Well, we're going to add the link here. You can click on this link, or you can hit us up at our businesses at Realty Wealth and Zuluscape.
And we'll get you there. We'll get you to the right spot.
We will get you there. She's also going to be highlighted on local news in Indianapolis on Fox 59.
A 5-year-old kindergartner is on a mission to make sure homeless people in our community stay warm. That's why she's supplying these blankets to local family shelters in need.
I put some stickers on each blanket, and it has a cross with a heart and a Bible first, let love and faithfulness never leave you.
At just 5 years old, Fallon Wetherell is a lot of things. She's strong, kind, and courageous, and she's taking her family on a journey they never saw coming.
What did you say you wanted to do? What did you want to happen?
To pass out blankets to people who are cold.
She got the idea after watching a story on 13 News about 5-year-old Jackson Potocik, who collected hundreds of stuffed animals for firefighters and other organizations to give out to kids who need them most.
She just continued to say, I want to do something, Mom, I want to do something. And we were praying for these people, and she said, let's do something more than pray.
That's how they launched Warm Up with the Wetheralls. They are collecting new blankets for people without homes in the Indianapolis area.
And I even shared with her, let's make a goal of 20 blankets. And she said, no, I'm going for 100.
And they already exceeded that goal with 250 blankets. So far, they've been donated to 3 charities, including a local shelter called Family Promise.
We're constantly having to resupply the apartments with the blankets. So this was just an absolute gift for us to be able to receive these blankets.
Fallon's dad, Clint, says the shelters are not the only ones receiving a blessing.
It's taught us a lot of lessons how just a small act like this can make such a huge impact.
And Fallon says she has no plans to slow down. She hopes her story inspires other people to do their part to make the community better by doing 2 simple things.
Make people happy by being kind.
So that's something people can find her on, but just really proud of her. And, you know, we've got a commercial building where we've got a tenant that helps the homeless, you know, out a great deal.
Right.
Down in southern Indiana. And that charity's called hope.com. Yep. And Kathy Myers is the lady's name.
Neat lady. And then we've got my wife's little boutique called Clothes with a Cause.
You beat me to it. I was going there. You know, so your wife's got 2 locations. Yep. Why don't you explain that a little bit? It's pretty awesome.
It's a neat little boutique, and you can shop online at closewithacause.com. I should probably know that. We'll add the link to it, but she gives 100% of the profits from that store to different charities, and it's 4 charities each year. So each quarter, it's a new charity. And for Christmas last year, she had a pretty neat one that included something kind of similar that we took down to Wheeler Mission and changed some lives. It's unbelievable to see the impact that stuff like this does, and we're lucky enough that we get to deliver this stuff when we do it, and so I get to see what all you guys, when you chip in on things like this, you know, I feel bad because you kind of miss out on some of the best part, which is seeing lives change from it. And I know it sounds silly that a blanket can change a life, but it's just these people don't know that they're loved. People don't care, and that's something as simple as a blanket can change.
It's your wife's business. We took our office up there over the holidays and put these boxes together. It was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and it stinks that sometimes I personally am calling myself out, get away from that giving mindset. You know, it comes around on the holidays and sometimes I forget about it, but to see the kingdom impact that, you know, such small things can make on people. So, Fallon Wetherill, your dad is really proud of you, and so is your Uncle Scott. So, good stuff, my love.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, it's always good to be here with you.
Yeah. Good. We've had kind of a fun day. A lot of filming out at houses and
good.
Yeah. So
it's always good to get in here with you. You know, it's I've had a very stressful week, and you know, get it to air it out. We did an episode of More on Real Estate where we kind of call out to everybody. You know, we just got done filming that. That's always great, man. You were hot and bothered. You okay now?
Yeah, you know, the blood pressure gets up when you see people out there giving crap advice.
Gosh, there's so many douchebags out there. It's crazy.
And they don't this affects real people who go out and then follow that advice.
Correct.
You know, we see some of these with millions of views and likes, and it's the worst advice ever. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, the more we do these More on Real Estate episodes, the more I feel like it's our duty, our responsibility.
It is our duty.
It's crazy.
It's going to be a lot of people get hurt really bad when this market's not all sunshine and rainbows like it's been. And, you know, I don't like seeing it. I've seen, you know, people that I like and respect, you know, 15 years ago lose everything they had.
Right.
You know, it's serious stuff, and people need to heed the warnings. But I think, you know, a lot of times that people just think, oh, it's those homeboys and they're just Debbie Downers and just sucking the life out of the room.
Hey, we're realists. You can go like all those flashy videos and how you get rich overnight and you leverage to the gills. But when it comes down to it, we believe in conservative assets and conservative wealth building, and it will get you there. Mm-hmm. So speaking of non-conservative investments and unusual investments, I heard someone purchased the space in the Metaverse next to Snoop Dogg for $400,000.
You know, you used to, you know, when someone acted a little differently, you know, back in, you know, when we were growing up, it's like, oh, they're living in fantasy land. Mm-hmm. Well, people are living in fantasy land now.
Right.
I don't understand it. You know, we kind of started off our show by talking about, charities and God's kingdom a little bit. I think the Lord intended us to interact with one another.
Right.
To talk with one another, to, coexist with one another. I just don't understand this whole metaverse thing. And it's quite frankly, it scares the crap out of me. Because, just got back from Disney with the family. I'm a huge Disney nut, and love going to Disney with the family. And me and my wife would comment on it. It was amazing how many strollers are being pushed around that have kids on tablets and devices. And, you're at the happiest place on earth, and they're probably watching a Disney movie on the tablet while they're at Disney, for crying out loud. And that's but the parents allow it because the kids are being quiet and,
the world
scares me.
The world's an imperfect place, and escaping to a fantasy land is something that's addictive, and they have it down to a science now. I think back to when we were in our young 20s, going to Vegas, they had that down to a science, what would attract you, what noises to make, and what, how much oxygen to put in that room. Mm-hmm. Now they've got this down to a science, this world, the internet, and now a step further is the metaverse, and who knows what'll happen with augmented reality when that becomes more of a thing. But there's Elon Musk. I listened to him talk about. Someone asked him, "Are we living in a simulation?" And he said, "Well, we could be, only because if you look at the growth we've had for what a video game or a metaverse looks like in just 10 years, and you extrapolate that out by another 200 years, we're going to have something that is almost indistinguishable from reality at some point. It's just a fact. And now the metaverse is far from that. But, I have one of those Oculuses. I just bought one. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I think it's weird. I haven't used it since that first week we got it. Mm-hmm. But I understand the draw. It pulls you away. And then I know the addiction of a smartphone. It's a way. It's an escape, and it's sad. So
where do people go forward 20 years from now? Is everyone just in a zombie-like state on a couch with something attached to their head, just living in some fake world?
They got a robot out there that they're controlling through their vision. They can see that. That's the only way they'll enter the world. I don't know the answer to that. The sci-fi movies have shown that that's a possibility. Do I believe that will happen? No. Reality is pretty neat, but I don't know. In the meantime, people who believe that are buying up real estate in that world. You realize that, right? People are buying real estate in that world because they believe that is the future. And not for insignificant sums of money either. And then you think about the money Facebook is pouring into the metaverse, and that's just one system. Who's going to follow?
I hate to even see Zuckerberg. I just don't. There's something about that dude that just, I don't know. I think that, and I say that because Facebook really ticks me off, a lot of times anyway, because I get stuck on it.
Yeah.
And I go through a half an hour, and I'm like, why the heck am I on Facebook?
I'm real proud
of
myself.
So I take it out on the guy that started Facebook. Right. It's not my fault. It's his fault. But I don't know. It's you're losing family dinner time, and you're losing, just community. Right. That people used to live in. Me, I'm a small town guy, right. And everyone gets together and hangs out, and I don't know. It's just I don't understand.
That's already gone. You and I complain about it all the time. We're old fuddy-duddies now. We talk about, in our day, all the kids got together with bikes and we rode around, and after dark you went home. Not anymore. Right. And I see it with my own kids too. But these addictions are real. You know how I broke my Facebook addiction? TikTok. Now I'm addicted to TikTok. I'm never on Facebook. It's so bad. Yeah. It's so bad.
That's like saying I don't do coke anymore. I only
use
meth.
heroin to get off of it. Right. Right. It's so bad.
Oh, good news.
And I in some ways TikTok's worse because it's like 30-second clips. So my attention span, I notice it in the real world. My attention span has gotten shorter and shorter.
I guess I'm somewhat hypocritical because we have accounts for work and
right.
That's the only
this
time
is
I'm
going
on,
out on the
the only time I'm on
Facebook,
TikTok at the Homeboys Pod on TikTok. But I just I don't know. Like I'm wondering if I should just sell off like all of our real estate holdings.
Buy in the metaverse?
No. The complete opposite of that. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Buy build a cabin out in the middle of the woods and
be good for you. I think that'd be healthy.
Have a garden and do some canning and some freezing and just like.
Viewers, he asks me this once a day, by the way. This is not a new question. He literally comes in my office once a day and goes, do I have to just go live alone in the woods with my family?
I'm not going to be able to continue on like this. Like, I miss my dad more than anything in this world, Yeah. But I don't think he could have handled, some of this crap that's going on. I just don't think he could do it. He was struggling the way that it was, but
I shouldn't do it. I mess with my
struggle.
mom. I mess with her a little bit. I send her these articles. And
I'm sure you do.
I get a kick out of it a little bit.
Freaking mean, man.
Oh,
your mom's
she thinks
so
I'm
sweet,
crazy.
Nice. She comes in here, brings us food in the office.
Oh, she's
unbelievable.
Yeah,
you're picking on her. Yeah, it'll be a special place in hell for you, buddy. but anyway, so I guess we get on here, we talk about real estate investments. I think that our viewers can probably already tell that this is not something that that I'm going to be investing in. But I said that same thing about Bitcoin, and look what Bitcoin is it has done over. And I'm talking about. I remember sitting in a room out in Phoenix, Arizona, with you, bored out of our mind at a real estate conference, and that's when it was. Bitcoin was getting traction, and we were like joking about it,
right,
and everything. But had we bought Bitcoin at that time,
right,
made a lot of money.
Yeah, I bought Bitcoin at 400 and sold it at 9,000. Two of them, and it's the biggest. You regret it now. That's nothing compared to this other stuff,
right?
So but I don't know.
So anyhow, Metaverse. It's hard for me to invest in something that I hate.
Right.
I hate the Metaverse. I don't know much about it. I think it's tearing, our social, lives apart, and I don't know. It's not for me.
It's a thing that people can do though, and it's high risk because this is the first attempt. Mm-hmm. Well, this isn't the first. There was that I forget that Life. There was like a Metaverse before that, Second Life. Do you know about that? It was like the first Metaverse, and you could create a avatar and go on there and interact. But this is really the first chance for people to invest in real estate that's not really real. I guess you could buy stars. You know about that?
I remember that. I remember those things. Yeah.
And so there's always been stuff like
this.
Be
at the museum, and they had like a little kiosk that you could buy a star for $25 or something. Yeah.
Star registry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that sounds like something more for me.
Yeah, it does.
Just buy a bunch of stars.
You should. That's your legacy. Sold all his real estate and bought stars. Pass that down to your kids.
It's but I just it's hard for me to you say someone bought a place next to Snoop Dogg, so I guess Snoop's in, and generally I celebrate that guy's entire catalog.
I know.
We saw him in concert. You and I did.
Yeah. If he's in, maybe we should go in. It's just such high risk. It's a weird thing. I just can't imagine. The first iteration of this is gonna work. I just don't believe it'll work. I think it's like everything with technology. Something will come along next, and the value will go to zero on this particular thing. I just believe that.
So you sent me an interesting article earlier in the week, last week, week before, I don't know, everything's running together.
Yeah.
That it was a scientist that was being interviewed about the population on planet Earth.
Right.
And this scientist was saying that we have experienced the most population on this planet that we will ever see.
Right.
That now the population is going to start going backwards. And apparently this is I think, I'm not for sure certain on this, but I think Elon Musk has been on record saying the same thing. But
there's a lot of forward thinkers who believe it, and scientists who are saying it now. I'm not sure that it's true. I sent it to you just to.
You're a really smart guy on research, and something. I just don't understand how you've got so much time on your hands to hold this crap up. You don't sleep.
No, I just read.
It's unbelievable. But anyhow, explain this article a little bit.
Yeah. So the way that populations historically crash is the decline becomes exponential, because it's like population growth is exponential. So the less people that have kids, then there's less people to then have kids. And if you're in a downward slope, it accelerates. So it's just an accelerated curve. And it looks like we're there already. 50% of women over 30 don't have kids for the first time in history. And some of that could be because people having kids when they're older.
Some of the most amazing stats.
Yeah. Well, that was in that article.
Yeah.
But that's the first time in history.
A very selective memory.
Yeah.
First time in history.
Yeah, but people are having kids older, so
50% over the age of 30.
Women don't have kids, and so more people are choosing not to have kids. They just are.
Is that because fewer people are having sex?
Yeah, I think.
You think so?
I do.
I mean, maybe I'm getting into a topic that I shouldn't be discussing, but is it because of social awkwardness? Is it just because people don't want to have kids, like all the above?
I mean, the studies I've shown say all the above. It's a weird time. Mm-hmm. Maybe they just want to be in the metaverse all day, going around buying real estate. I don't know. It's a weird time. You and I talk about it a lot, how our grandparents were raised a certain way, and our parents were raised a certain way, we were raised a certain way, and they were all very similar, very. After the Industrial Revolution, things have were kind of flat, and we lived a certain way. And now there's this technological revolution going on that's changing the way we interact. It's changing the way we think, and so it's a unique time. I don't think people realize how much the world has changed in the last 20 years compared to the 100 years before it. I talked to my grandma about it. My grandma's still alive, 95 years old. Mm-hmm. Bless her heart. She talks about it all the time, how the first, 85 years of her life seemed pretty similar. And these last 10 years, the world's just changed so much.
Right.
That's a woman who, was
who
born.
used to have to go outside to go to the bathroom.
Well, my parents were born in a
running
house.
Water.
My parents were born in a house without electricity or water.
Right.
And
we're not far removed from that. Now people are buying digital real estate.
Right. And my grandma was born with where everyone used horses to get around. I'm not she was born, horses were the main transportation. Mm-hmm. And so that
you wash your clothes in a tub.
Yeah. Yeah, once a month.
Right.
It's the world has changed so fast.
Showered once like every, like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
But you never got that memo.
No.
That's changed.
Right. I'm good once a week.
I'm setting back this far for a reason.
Right. Once a week. Pool pond. I just jump in my pond out back.
Pond's for you.
Yeah.
Pool's for me.
Yeah, I just swim in the pond and that gets me clean. Yeah, it's a strange time, and I think people who want to invest in the metaverse are flushing their money down the toilet.
But what if they're not?
Right. There's a chance.
I mean, I've been wrong many, many, many times. There's areas here in Indianapolis that said, I'd never invest there. Gosh,
you're wrong most of the time.
Man, I am. It is amazing how often I screw things up. It's nuts. Screw up a glass of ice water, Wetherill. Yeah. But anyhow, what if they're not? Like, I mean, what if it's just that we're that dumb?
It's possible.
That we should be, because now's the time, since the metaverse doesn't have the traction that it's going to, that you should be buying all this up. And then what the heck do you do with it when you got it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you buy a digital dog to take a dump on the property that you bought,
Yes,
or
yep.
that's what you do?
That's what you do. It's all about dogs taking dumps. That's where the money is. No, I think advertising, it's like everything. Advertising in space and getting views and clicks. It's.
But why would a person click on it? Because it's next to Snoop Dogg?
I guess because they're going by it to go to Snoop Dogg's content. And your content.
So then you
is
go
by
there
it.
and your content. There's a place that you park your content.
I mean, it's a place where you interact and park content. It's everything.
You know how freaking crazy this sounds?
I know.
To me?
I know.
Like,
I know.
now I'm mad.
I hate to break the fourth wall, but our producers over there cracking up can't even hold it in.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, people buy, cars or, clothes, like this digital thing for, to park to back that ass up.
Right.
Like,
yeah. And that's after spending $45,000 on money that's digital too. It's 45,000 a coin, Bitcoin, I think, today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all fugazi. It's all just up in the air. It's just smoke and mirrors.
Next week on the Homeboys, Clint moves out of the middle of nowhere and cuts off all contact with society. It is. I don't know.
I don't know how you have genuine interactions and genuine, I don't know, the things that are important in life with this new world that's coming. Can you? I don't know.
I think that there's some serious dangers with it because, we actually work for a living.
Right.
We have real jobs and
Right.
sit at a real desk and,
Right.
At a real office that, we see this labor gap that we've talked about on the podcast before. This labor gap is real.
We're experiencing it. Yesterday we went and looked at side-by-sides, those ATVs, and we went and talked to our sales guy, and he said...
He's the salesman. He's the finance guy. He's
everything.
The service coordinator.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big place. I mean, they've been around since I can remember, since I was young. It's a neat,
huge
place that sells motorcycles and ATVs. He's the only employee other than in the service department. Not because he wants to be. It's because they
can't find anybody.
Can't find anybody. So, yeah, I think that's part of it, too.
And are you going to have more people sitting on couches, backing up to Snoop Dogg's digital house,
right?
And won't get up and becomes heating and air condition technicians, you name it. Secretaries, restaurant workers. I mean, you and I eat a lot,
right?
We eat a lot. Every restaurant we go to struggling,
right?
It's
strange. I don't know how much
is this going to contribute to that, where people are just going to be setting, in this digital. I mean, that's
already there. That's already there with the younger generation. They don't want to go into trades as much. There's a lot of the laptop generation has been born. We were the very, very beginning of the laptop generation, and
so I feel like we've got to give our viewers something here.
Yeah,
because we're giving advice. The only thing that I've been saying is like how crazy it is. So, is it safe to say that we just don't know?
Yeah, of course. We do know a couple of things. It's incredibly high risk. It's incredibly it's unlikely to succeed and earn you money, but it possibly could. We don't know how. Possibly could. Imagine if when the internet came out, you and I were sitting here saying, I don't know, you have to type in something and go somewhere. I remember I didn't know what a search engine was when the internet was out, and I would have to try to remember a website, like CNN.com or what you'd have. Like, I didn't know how to search for things. And I thought, no one's ever going to use this internet. Imagine if you had bought all those websites back then you buy all those names, www.cnn.com. If you owned all those,
right,
you'd make a fortune.
Right.
You're owning all of that real estate. You could have made a fortune on those.
That's a great point, man. I mean,
So
we looked at that with some of our businesses that we try to find the website and like nothing exists. You know, that people were buying that. You know, you're right. That's a fabulous point.
And we've paid for other people have bought websites that we want the name, and so we've paid for them before. You know, for some of our stuff. And so, you know, is this similar? Yeah, maybe. I just don't know. I know it's high risk, and I don't know that the metaverse is going to be the platform where it exists. You know, will it be fractured? Kind of like call it like PlayStation and Xbox, and will it be fractured in that way, or are all of these going to tie into the metaverse? Did Facebook? Are they the first to market and they're going to win because they've got the most money and they were the first to market? Maybe. It's a gamble.
If you're not working, what do you like to do?
I like to fish and be outside and be with my family. We don't have TV.
So is the future going to be digital fishing? Are you going to be fishing in the metaverse?
I tried that. I tried downloading a fishing game on my phone. Oh, it was miserable. The thing I like about fishing isn't the fishing. The thing I like about fishing is going out there and being in my kayak on my lake that I live on and just being out with friends.
Yeah, I love playing. I love to play golf.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
friends, a good time. You're outside. It's great. The golf is like 5th on the list of things that you like about that.
Right.
So that's same with me with fishing. It's everything I like to do. It's about family, friends, and being outside and living.
You know, you're seeing that too. You know, traditional golf courses are struggling.
I bet.
You know, because the millennial generation can't
imagine, go to Topgolf,
a 4-hour round of golf.
Right.
You know, it's just
these damn kids,
these whippersnappers. I'm telling you, it's hard to get. I can't wrap my hands around it. Period.
Hey, so here's a good summary for this for me in my mind. If you want to gamble and go into the metaverse and buy stuff up or any other platform, there's going to be others that are going to have space available. And to call them real estate is kind of garbage in my mind. You know, it's more like buying. Well, it's not like buying anything the world has ever seen because it's a new thing, but maybe similar to websites. But it's a risk. You know, it's not for us. We believe in investing in cash flowing assets that build wealth over time. It just comes back to that. And we know that recipe to build wealth and to become wealthy is simple. We know how to do it. We know how to help our clients do it, and we believe in that. So this other stuff, we're not going to dive into the weeds on it and learn every aspect of it because it's not for us, and so why would I even care in some ways? I'll miss out. I miss out on so much, but at the same time, you and I, we don't throw 30 things against the wall and see which one sticks. We get good at something, and we do it over and over and over, and we help other people do that too. So I think that's fine to say we don't know, and it's not for us.
I think that's a great summary. You know, stick to what you know. You know, we're very conservative. You know, we put our money in cash flowing, you know, assets, particularly real estate, and that's what our show is about. You know, we're the Homeboys for a reason. We've invested in many single family homes, multifamily projects, commercial projects. It's what we know. This digital universe is not for the Homeboys. That doesn't mean that maybe it could be something big out there. And, you know, if that's you become an expert, you know, in the metaverse, then
come tell us about it.
You know, come tell us about it and we'll learn something from you. But the Homeboys don't put all of, you know, so many irons and so many different fires that we have a hard time, you know, keeping track of things. We stay pretty laser focused, you know, on what we know. And I think that's good advice. If you want to invest in homes, invest in homes. If you're dabbling in the metaverse, good luck. Don't call me. It's not for me.
Yeah, he'll be in the woods.
I will be in the woods growing vegetables and putting up hay. So anyhow, that is our show. Please follow us next time for a topic that we know a heck of a lot more about than the metaverse. Please join us next time. Until next time, happy investing.
Are you a little jealous?
What?
It's half yours.
Jealous.
Company bought it.
Like personally.
Right.
You know.
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry.
So big. Back that ass up? Are you phasing me out? Seriously, dude? You cloning yourself again? It's really expensive. So are two of you better than me and you on the podcast? But you're pushing me out of the podcast for two of you? Really? You think two of you are better than me? So you think you're better than me?
You want to go?
Our day.
Two idiots instead of one.
Oh, hi. Sorry, we didn't see you there. Is that what we do?
Wow, yeah, literally. We are talking about the Metaverse. What the hell is it? Do you know?
I don't know. What are we talking about? The Metaverse?